thank you to my class for allowing me this honor of speaking for you and about you. I hope I can do you justice. I'd like to bring you a little story this morning about the Four Temperaments. And for those of you who don't know what those are, the Four Temperaments are the choleric, who is willful and fiery, and the phlegmatic, who is patient, methodical, loves his food, loves routine and ritual. The sanguine, who is active all over the place, social, energetic, gets distracted very easily. And the melancholic, who is more inward, more heartfelt, and very caring and compassionate. This graduating class of 22 beautiful, bright, young people embodies each of these four characters within it. And traveling our path over the past 12 years, we have acted under the banner of each temperament. Our class, the choleric, is the class full of leaders. Our class, the choleric, is the group of students who is always volunteering to mediate community forums, host high school discussions, anything really that involves directing the masses. Our class, the choleric, is the group who will jump to the task when there's a speech to be spoken, a trip to be planned, a Facebook page to be curated. These are the students who you'll see volunteering. Being so full of leaders, our class tends to dispute everything. We are the class who drove Miss Hall and Miss Holly crazy in 8th grade with our tug-of-war arguments over which musical to perform. An ordeal that resulted in the two teachers making the executive decision to do no musical at all. We are the class who stands in the common room doorway at snack break, blocking a good deal of traffic, and argues over anything from the proper pronunciation of crepe or crepe, but really crepe, to the morality of eating cats and dogs. Needless to say, we are opinionated. We are competitive. Not only do we strive to impress our teachers in class, but also to keep up with and outdo each other. Just the past week, in fact, when we were on our class trip in St. John's, we found ourselves sitting around a picnic table and once again comparing our SAT scores. We push each other, we tease each other, but we do this all in the best of humor and with each other's interests at heart. Our class, as the phlegmatic, is content and easily pleased, especially if you bring us pastries. We are the class who manages to incorporate food into most of the things we do. When we hang out on the weekends or in our free time, we somehow always end up at the same places. Bulldog, the Art Cafe, the Diner, Smash Burger, or Mateo's or Heller's Houses, where we're sure to be able to get something good to eat. Our class, the phlegmatic, values ritual and routine. We love our little class traditions, like singing Bohemian Rhapsody on long bus rides. And we love our little habits, like the chant of, "You just failed, you just failed, you just failed, you just failed," that we sang in middle school whenever someone messed something up. Our class, the phlegmatic, is very strongly attached to our history at Green Meadow, and sometimes even reluctant to accept the changes that we see going on in the school around us. Ours is the class who asked Mr. Wilson if we could devote an entire week of our English elective to the study of Rudolf Steiner, because we wanted to better understand the rituals and routines that we've thrived in so well over the past 12 years. Our class, the Sanguine, is the group of teenagers who loves to meet new people. Our class, the Sanguine, is welcoming of almost everyone and anything. When there's a new exchange student or a visitor, we are thrown into a paroxysm of excitement and flock to welcome the poor, unsuspecting newcomer. Our class, the Phlegmatic, is always found standing to talk in a circle, because in a circle, we can focus on everyone at one time, and always stretch and expand to welcome in anyone who wishes to join us. Our class, our attention, our class, the Sanguine, gets distracted easily, and our attention flits from one thing to the next very quickly. When we start a group chat on Facebook, for example, to make plans for the weekend, the conversation quickly devolves into a roast of first one person, then the next, and ends with cat memes and emojis of rabbits with roses in their mouths. We have trouble returning to the original topic of discussion or the question, and we often abandon the chat without having accomplished what we set out to. Lastly, our class, the Melancholic, is brimming with empathy. We have huge capacities for compassion. Anytime, we're very sensitive to the various needs and struggles of our classmates at any time. And no mishap can occur to any one of us without the rest finding it out. We like to shoulder each other's burdens. If one of us gets in trouble for drinking margaritas, we all become margarita drinkers. But, of course, our class, Melancholic, is very cautious about breaking rules. As a whole, we seldom get caught doing things we're not supposed to. Unless it's eating the pastries meant for the info sessions in the lobby. Our class, the Melancholic, is at times introverted and absorbed in ourselves. We're the class who has to be shooed off of campus after school is dismissed, because we get carried away singing around the piano or talking on the steps and never leave. It's not that we are incapable of or uninterested in socializing with outsiders. Our Sanguine side makes sure of that. But rather that we find a good deal of meaning in the act of caring for each other and listening to each other and embracing each other. And so our class, this loving, close-knit, pastry-thieving, bickering bunch, is plodding along the path that is life. And up until this point, we've plodded together. But today we encounter an obstacle in our course, and that obstacle is a 22-way fork in the road, where we all have to pick a different path. And as we get closer to it, we see that it's not so much an obstacle as it is a challenge for us and a transition. And wonder, how are we going to handle it? In what manner will we choose to deal with this? There's a final line to that anecdote about the 4 children in the woods. And it says that he who overcomes his temperament becomes master of fate. I've been thinking a lot recently about what this might mean for our class, how we might achieve this transcendence of temperament. And I realized that we've had it all along, that we achieve it every day in the finely honed equilibrium that exists among these individuals. We counterbalance each other. We listen to, respect, and know each other so deeply that we've developed the ability to override our personal temperaments and take on that of the group, whichever it happens to be. Our class can act as any of the 4 characters, and that is what makes us so well-rounded. That is what makes us master of our fate. It's what makes us able to handle every boulder that should fall in our path, and every fork in the road, too. And I believe our imminent separation really is a boulder of types for us, because most of us rely on each other, and some of us, myself included, know no other life than this class and this school. But our saving grace, I believe, lies in the very fact that we are so strongly bound together, because we form a group whose parts, when separated and sent off into the world, will each still carry the strength and support of the whole from near and far. I have 3 hopes for our class. First, I hope that we will not shy away from hard work, that we will be able to bring to bear the full strength of our upbringings and educations in achieving whatever we set ourselves to achieve. Second, that we will continue to provide both a net and a network for our friends when they need us. And third, that we will always have enough pastries to go around. Thank you.
Beautiful.